It's easy enough to be a bushcraft prepper survivalist when it's warm and dry, but when it's cold, wet and windy, it's a little bit more difficult. So if you want some waterproofing tips, stay tuned. Wet cotton has only got 5% of the insulating value of dry cotton. Wearing wet cotton using your body heat to dry it out can lead to hypothermia. You need to keep your equipment dry. You can buy waterproof rucksacks. However, there are two problems. If you get a hole in them, they're not waterproof anymore. Also, any water that does get in can't get out. So it's better to have a showerproof rucksack and a waterproof liner than a totally waterproof rucksack. Use a heavy duty waterproof bag to line your rucksack. Then use lighter waterproof bags for various sets and individual items. Before you use your waterproof bags, see if first of all they are waterproof. And secondly, do they hold all the equipment they're supposed to? If you're bushcrafting or going non-tactical, use different coloured bags. You can always put a removable label on the bag and write on it. If you're going tactical or you're going to use the bags at night without a light, then put some sort of identification mark on the catches, so you can feel for them and take out the correct bag that you wish to open. Avoid bin bags. Bin bags are there to keep the bin tidy. They're not there to keep the contents waterproof. They're good at keeping waterproofs as long as they don't tear, but that's the problem. They tear easily. So, spend a little bit more money and get a rubble bag. Already, after putting it in and out twice, we've got one hole here and two more here. This means it's no longer waterproof and of very little use. If you can't afford dedicated waterproof bags, try using plastic bags, especially bread bags, as they come without holes. And you can semi-vacuum pack them using the Norwegian vacuum sealing method. This method involves placing the object you want to keep waterproof in the plastic bag, physically sucking the air out, and then twisting it before folding it over. You should check the size of each one of your waterproof bags before you actually need to use it. Do this by stuffing in the equipment you expect to carry in the bag and see A, how big it is, and B, does it close properly. If you're going to keep things sealed with tape, put a tab on the tape so you can take it off with gloves. One of the main problems of using improvised waterproof bags is sealing them. I decided to try and make my own roll-top waterproof bag. I needed the following items: a heavy-duty plastic bag, a pair of scissors, a Fastex clip and some tape. I also thought I would use some nylon tape, but that was not necessary. Step 1 was to cut off the existing seal from the heavy-duty plastic bag. The second step was to make a fastening for both sides of the Fastex clip. Stage 3. Cut out a length of adhesive tape and cut out the corner. The next stage was to feed the now non-sticky part of the tape through the loop of the Fastex buckle. fold it over and use the still sticky part to seal it down. A length of adhesive tape, slightly longer than the bag was wide, was stuck to the outside of the plastic bag. It was cut so that the fastex buckles could be taped on, and it was chamfered at the edge so it could be folded into the inside and stuck onto the inside. The tape would now hold the fastex buckles and be stuck on the outside and the inside of the plastic bag. This made a workable dry bag. Having made the small roll-top plastic waterproof bag, I decided I would try it using better materials with a rubble sack. I also made some slight changes, making the tabs stick to the bag before sealing them with the long length of tape. I tried it out in the rucksack, and because it was stronger, it didn't get the holes in straight away. However, I think you either need to use a really thick plastic bag, such as a Monty food bag, or rely on the coated nylon that seems to be most popular at the moment. If you're going to use random containers for storing things that need to be kept dry, then make sure A, they are fully sealed, B, they're strong enough to do the job, and C, you can get into them easily. There are numerous ways of waterproofing material. It can be sprayed, it can be washed in a special solution, or it can be rubbed with some wax-based product. Once the material has been coated in this wax-based compound, it is then melted in by using a hairdryer or even leaving it out in the hot sun for it to melt and soak into the material. This is not a long-term solution and it needs to be updated fairly regularly, but it works. One easy way to make your rucksack more weatherproof is to use a rain cover. They're easy to use and remove to dry off when the bad weather is over. Resealable and Ziploc bags can be used to keep the contents of non-waterproof jacket pockets, such as headovers and gloves, dry until you need them. If you're going to rely on a gas lighter and you're worried about it getting wet, cut off an inch from an old bicycle tube, then cut off slightly more than twice the length of the lighter. Put the lighter inside the tube, fold over the ends and put the inch section over the join. If you're in a high humidity environment and you have materials that are susceptible to damp, such as matches, keep them in a dedicated beach container. These have a rubber O-ring and can be fastened down tightly. So get your kit waterproofed for when you get out there to get training, because you know it makes sense, it will serve you well.